Yeah, I can't hear anything.
I can't hear Tom either.
There you go.
There.
All right. So anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I guess the internet's under a protest or something. Who knows? But anyway, we got some special guests today. It's going to be a great show. Wayne, who do we have today?
Well, thank you, Tom, and thanks everybody for tuning in and watching us here. We've got Christian Arroyo from the CLE Cigar Company, and David Palm, who is our rep for Christian. We're, for you guys who don't know, we don't carry a whole lot of his front mark brands, the Aroa series, but we're going to start carrying them. Christian was supposed to be on our store probably right before this COVID-19 started. We were right in the window for him to come visit, and everything went crazy, so we canceled it, obviously, and we had these little packs available. But you guys know the Asylum, the Schizo that we sell a lot of, is kind of their brand. And our goal is to kind of introduce our customers to the brand. That was the idea about having Christian come by the shop and visit us. But we figured we'd bring him here live to you, almost in person, via video chat. Christian, welcome aboard. Maybe tell us a little about your company, your factory, and your cigars.
Hey, Wayne, what's going on, man? Thank you for having me. You know, the funny thing is, I remember calling you. I don't know. I think I was due to see you maybe March 12th or March 13th. I remember calling you, and I was halfway embarrassed. I just cut my trip from Boston short, and I was like, man, you know, I don't know what this thing's going to turn into. Not that many cases, but everybody seems to be panicking, and I feel so bad and embarrassed calling you. I was like, dude, you know, I can't go. And you were actually very nice about it. I can't imagine what you were thinking. But then, like, I don't know, maybe 5 days later, I called you. And I said, Wayne, can you believe that the world just completely came apart like that in 4 or 5 days? Because soon after that, man, like 2 or 3 days later, everything just started shutting down all over the place. So it really was amazing. And I'm sorry I missed going to you. You know, you and I have been doing business for, I don't know, maybe 20-something years already. And you were South Fontana probably for 40 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
Baccarat and National Brand and Camacho and all those brands.
Back in the old day. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, you were probably the first one. We lucked out. We had our anniversary dinner probably about 4 days before everything shut down. I mean, we had the lounge full of people, you know, about 100 people in here, everything. And then, of course, you were the first one to call and cancel an event, but it was like dominoes after that. So everything's been canceled all the way through. So,
oh, yeah.
I totally understood when you called, and, you know, it was the best call. We're all doing the best we can to make do in this situation, but we look forward to having you come back and visit us again as soon as things open up again. So
yeah, I look forward to it too, man. It's always fun. I like visiting the stores, and I like talking about the products that we have. I like visiting the old time stores too. Not that you're an old timer, which that's not the only reason I like you, but I do like dealing with guys that have been around and understood the business back when, before the cigar boom, during the cigar boom, after the cigar boom. Because the industry has tremendously changed, Wayne. And for me to explain a product that is done according to the old style standards it's very hard for me to explain it to a newcomer, a guy that's just new to his store, and a guy that's trained the staff in the new methods, which is all marketing and Instagram and all this kind of stuff. I'm an old-fashioned guy, man. I think the product needs to be the product. I'm a traditionalist when it comes to that, and that's how we make our cigars, especially the ones that everybody's going to try out today. Hopefully the Eiroa in those 4-packs. We wanted to do those 4-packs, and I really wanted people to try cigars that way, because traditionally in our business, not traditionally, in the last 15, 20 years, we started doing these crazy events in the stores that I think were great at one point, but when I dislike them very much now, because I don't think that the customer gets to sample the product the way that we would like them to sample the product. And it's also very hard to explain. There's nothing like being able to give somebody a cigar or 2 cigars, and in this case 4 cigars, when someone can smoke the 4 cigars, and you can tell them, look, I want you to light 2 cigars at a time. I want you to light 3 cigars at a time, because I need you to taste the differences. Don't look at this as a product buy, per se. It's not a product buy. You're not buying one product. You're sampling. You do what we do at the factory. Usually we'll smoke a cigar factory. We'll probably smoke only 1 inch or 2 inches, and we move on to the next one. And it's not uncommon for us to have 2 or 3 or 4 different cigars sitting at the edge of the table. I'm sure everybody's seen those pictures that somebody will post when they go down in one of the factories, because that's really the only way to taste cigars. We sit down, I explain to you guys to blow the smoke out your nose, and really how you're supposed to enjoy the cigars. And we don't give anybody a particular order in how to smoke them. We are known for the authentic Corojo seed. We're still the only people growing the authentic Corojo seed. And every one of our cigars, you're gonna get that taste, which is this full body taste, but a very sweet finish and absolutely no aftertaste. Sometimes you smoke some of the hybrids, you get this taste right back here. Happens a lot with the Nicaraguan cigars. They buy a lot of a lot of manufacturers are using nothing but like the Criollo 98 wrapper or binder and filler. They use it for everything. And to give the cigars body, the Corojo allows you to be able to ferment your tobacco 100% there and not have to under ferment to give you that body. Corojo is just such a fantastic seed. The problem with the authentic Corojo is that it doesn't yield very much. It's a very small plant. It's very small yield in the field. It's very susceptible to blue mold, and it's susceptible to all the other ailments that tobacco is normally known for. But that's, we want to give everybody a different experience when they try our cigars. Most people, and they know us for the Asylum line, and I know you guys do a killer business with the Schizos, and that's a great little cigar, man. But I wouldn't say that's the one that I would like in my coffin when I go.
Yeah.
Hey, take the call, man. That might be the PPP round 2 for you.
Yeah, if I took the buttons off, it's not supposed to ring, but it's the internets are going down or crazy or something. That's what it is. It sounds fun. We're going to offer these little gift packs up to our customers this week to try. We have 3 different ones. We have an Asylum, the CLE traditional one, and then that's the Eiroa series right here. And I think we're going to do like $29, and the other 2 are like $19.95. And it'd be great to, because I like your idea. I know that when we go to sit down with a manufacturer, and you kind of brought that all to light. I forget about it. People kind of come in, they like our events, they like deals on cigars, they want to buy them up. But sometimes I'll sit down with a manufacturer, and they'll have you light a cigar, and they'll have you put it down, they'll have you pick up another one. But one of those cigars you just really like, so you keep going back to it, and then they got to try another one, and you go back to that one, and that's kind of a neat way to try it. It doesn't make sense to maybe a consumer because you're spending that much money on cigars and you're kind of plowing through, but it's a true way of doing a tasting, and you make the package affordable for them to try it and do it that way. I think that'd be a neat event to do here in the store. So I look forward to you coming back.
And this is something, it happened to me once before, that I had 2 blends and they were equally magnificent, but they were polar opposites. I'm trying to get the camera in the right. They were completely different, polar opposites, but they were both equally great. And I figured this thing out that I'd never done before, which I would take one puff from one and then puff from the other one and then blow out the smoke at the same time from both. And you get the mix in the flavors. That was such a crazy thing for me to try. And that's one thing I try to get you guys to try when we do this. It's a fun exercise. But you're absolutely right. Also, and it's also when we go down and start blending, because we'll smoke, I don't know, 25, 30. I mean, we'll taste 25, 30, 40 cigars in one day. So at the end of the day, you just completely smoked out. But then you do exactly what you said. You go home, you have dinner, and to clean your palate, you go to your go-to cigar that night because all of a sudden, hey, you smoked 40. What's 41?
Yeah.
And now you'll smoke all the way at the end, and it almost brings you back to neutral, right? It almost brings you back to zero again, so you're ready next day. But what you're saying is absolutely correct. And I'm glad you mentioned that observation. There's always one that you're going to favor, and you keep going back to that when you compare them all to that. And that's really what our goal is. I want to expose people to the cigars that we make, and in a very, like I said, a very traditional way. We make cigars for the guy who likes to smoke down and smoke cigars. I mean, the ones that likes to sit down and smoke cigars. We don't do it for, like this guy, David, he's a cigar junkie. That guy will smoke all day long when he's driving. I don't make cigars for I don't make cigars for a guy like David. I like the guy that goes to your shop, exactly the guy that you want to get rid of at the end of every single day, that hangs out at your shop all day long. That's what I want to make cigars for. The guy's going to sit there. He's going to bring maybe his, I don't know if you guys are BYOB or what, and the guy's going to bring his booze, he's going to have his whiskey and drink his cigars. That's the guy I love to please, man.
Awesome. So, David, how long have you been with Christian?
It will be a year tomorrow.
Okay.
Is it really?
Yeah, 1 year tomorrow.
Kid. Welcome.
Yeah. But in the industry for 16, 18 years now.
Yeah.
So, 18
David,
years.
There was a local guy in one of you, a store in North Carolina recommended Dave, and we're very happy, man. We had Tyler covering in the meantime. Then we brought David in, and I gotta say, man, he's been awesome. He's been killer for us.
Yep, he's a good guy.
Plus, I have to say that because then his feelings get hurt. If I don't.
I'm sensitive.
And Christian,
by the way, Dave Palm is the only guy that can go to the Dominican Republic and pick up absolutely zero sun. Nothing. That white PC color he's got is the same color always, man. It does not change, will not change. Trust me, we did experiments on him. Dr. Fauci wanted him for experiments. Nothing.
now, hey, Christian, we're also a TAA shop here at Anstead's. And right now, I think Wayne and I are both smoking the TAA, the Hamastron, which is a special shape to it. The
You're making
Hamastron.
it again. Say it again.
What's the name again, Tom?
Hamastron. Jamastron. Oh, Samsonite. I was way off.
Listen, we need everybody else to know that we've been rehearsing Hamastron for 10 minutes before the call. The guy's still going there.
Well, English is a second language for me, so I'm working on it.
That's a tough one, man.
This is a TAA special blend for TAA shops, and it's got a unique shape to it. Is that a special name for this Vitola, or that shape, or is it just?
Yeah, we call the 1118 shape is my mother's birthday, November 18th, and she always wanted a cigar named after her, and that comes after, we had this cigar with Camacho called Diploma. And I wanted to make, because the Diploma, to me, always the most arrogant cigar is the one that has no band on it. So Diploma was a 50x5 standard, which back then was a big cigar. And this is probably 2001, 2002. And Diploma was a cigar that if you came to visit me in the factory, I would give you a gift, and it would be a box of these Diplomas. But commercially, we started offering commercially. And because it had no band, this kid, the Salim that used to work with us, kept telling me, hey, listen, people are going to copy that cigar. They're just going to stick something else in that box. So I need to come out with a different shape. And I remember at that moment when we're having that conversation, I was playing with this marker, just rolling it up and down my desk. And I looked at the marker. I gave it to Luis, our factory manager. And Luis came back. And he made me a cigar in that shape, which is basically a pregnant Toro. I think it's 50 by 54 by 52 by 6. And it's been great, man. We do it for a TAA. For those of you who don't know, it's the Tobacco Association of America. It's a group of the top 75 or 76 stores. Wayne, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be a top class. And those are the people that are, back then when we started Camacho, there were 40 of you guys. And that's how I launched the company. I launched the Camacho brand back then. So the TAA has always been very important to us and to me personally. So we make a special cigar for that association every single year. In that 1118, you can only find it in 75 shops across the country. And Anstead's is one of them.
And it's really nice. It's got like a little bit of spice on it.
Now, Tom,
what
tell
are
me
you
the truth.
using
Did
in
you
that?
open the box from the top, or Did you use the little lid or the top or the big lid?
I don't know. I just grabbed two of them and
You make
ran
sense.
out
All right.
there.
No, because
Yeah.
They have it upside down. They're feeding it from the bottom.
oh,
We have it
okay.
upside down.
All right. No, listen. We
Yeah,
have
you
this
can't.
pyramid
You
box.
display it upside down.
Yeah, we have a pyramid box, and the accidental genius behind that box. I did not do it on purpose. But what happens with that box, if you buy it by the box and you use a small lid, the amount of air that escapes the box every time you pull a cigar out is minimal. So the cigars will stay just as good as they were right from the factory floor. And I've tasted these diplomas 15, 18 years afterward, and they were just the same, just like they came out of the factory. So it's the air. But, of course, we did the bottom because for stores, it's very hard to display and sell cigars from that very top lid at the top. And so many people put the box upside down. But yeah, man, look at the cigar is fantastic. But if you're gonna buy a full box and take it home with you, use the small lid on top. And it's an awkward looking box, man, but it stands out, and the cigars are worth it. These are all second and third primings. The cigars are medium body. I didn't want to go too strong with them. It's a beautiful cigar, man. I like the cigar a lot. The box is out of this world. I think our production will be fairly limited on those cigars this year, 2020, and moving forward, 21. We'll probably just made like 15,000 cigars, not that many anymore, because I'm using some of that tobacco for some other projects that I'm doing now in the future. I just want to kind of bring that box back because I always thought that box was super cool.
Yeah. Well, I do remember when it came in, and it was kind of odd. We first put it out where you could reach into the top, but it made it a little precarious for customers to get cigars out of it. So,
they hated it, man.
Yeah, I know.
Retailers hated it. You guys hated it. Everybody hated them.
Yeah. I tell you what, one thing I enjoy about having your cigars and other Honduran cigar companies, it seems like Nicaragua is really taking off. It's an explosion as far as people smoking Nicaraguan cigars. I really like the Honduran flavor profile. The old SLR cigar you guys used to make was one of my favorites of all time. And I just like the flavor that Honduran tobacco has compared to some of the Nicaraguans. They don't have as much spice, but they have a lot of flavor, which is really nice.
Well, it's funny what happened was back after when the embargo was established, the leaf brokers out of Tampa needed to find a different source of tobacco. So there were many experiments in Nicaragua. Somoza was very welcoming to Cubans. If you're a Cuban, and it worked just like this, if you're Cuban, you go to the government, they'll give you land, and they'll give you a barn and tractors and a credit line and anything you need. Honduras went a different route. Hondurans always grew corn, and it was harder for Hondurans. But when Angel Oliva from the tobacco family, not the cigar people, the tobacco family, Angel Oliva, which really a patriarch of our industry, that's the same person my grandfather used to sell tobacco to. Angel Oliva, after my father left the U.S. Army, after having been in Korea and the Bay of Pigs invasion, my father got invited to try to go and process tobacco in Honduras because Angel Oliva told him that he had found the one tobacco filler that could replace Cuban tobacco. And after the embargo for the machine manufacturers in Tampa. So, and Lou Rothman, which he was the founder of JR Cigars, great guy, great smoker for many years. And he's still with us, but he sold his company. And I remember he once said that when cigar smokers grow up, they smoke Honduran cigars. I love, however, we do a lot of business in Nicaragua, make a lot of cigars in Nicaragua. And I think they make great tobacco there. Both countries make real good cigars. The labor is fantastic. There is a tremendous Nicaraguan cigar boom. Labor, it's a lot easier to work Honduras. A lot easier to work than in Honduras. And salaries are almost half in Nicaragua. And the government is just a lot more helpful and business friendly in Nicaragua than it is in Honduras. Honduras is very complicated. And in the late 2000s, 2008, 2009, Honduras became extremely dangerous. Honduras became a narco state, a lot of kidnappings and murder. So it was safer just go open up shop in Nicaragua. However, what I dislike about Nicaragua is that there are so many factories. There are 60-something factories. They all buy tobacco from the same 4 or 5 suppliers. They all use the same hybrid seeds. So they really you begin to get this homogenization of the flavors of the cigars. So it's really hard for a cigar to stand out on Nicaragua. That's why some of these guys that make standout cigars is really impressive to me. And that's what we chose Naxa to do business with out of Nicaragua, man. I like the way they work. I like their labor. And they're very friendly in allowing us to bring our own team in there.
Okay. So do you grow all your own tobacco predominantly? I know you still have your farm.
Honduran stuff, yes, sir. Yeah,
Okay.
we grow the Corojo seed. We'll grow some Habano seed, and we'll grow the Mexican seed. And then my father just grew some Cameroon, and he's always trying to grow Connecticut. My father's that's his windmill, man. He's just he's just trying to grow that Connecticut, make it work out of Honduras. The soil's too thick, man. Connecticut's just not going to work. But he keeps trying every year, man. Every year he does it.
That's Tom's favorite. He loves that Cameroon, right, Tom?
I do. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah, man. My
Aurora Cameroon.
He just came out of Cameroon.
So we do have a video that your folks sent us regarding the factory and some of the things you guys were going through for the past, I guess, few months.
Oh, yeah?
I'd like to show that if you guys want to watch it. It's pretty short, I think. Let's take a look at it.
While the factory was closed, we spent 4 weeks developing our manual that dictates our biosecurity protocols. It is our responsibility to provide a safe and hygienic environment because of our team members depend and count on us to make sure that we are taking the proper precautions. We are fully aware that people need to make a living, but they should never have to be exposed to an environment that is unsafe. Their health and their families depend on us following every possible guideline, whether it be Honduran or international. One of these precautions is providing transportation for our crew so that they are not forced to commute in crowded buses, where the risk is just too high for our team members under the current environment. By contracting a private bus service, we are assured that the vehicles are always cleaned and sanitized after every run with responsible drivers. Upon arrival, each person has to stand in a painted mark and wait their turn to get their temperature taken and recorded, to then get a shoe bath as well as go through the disinfectant tunnel. We use Bayer's Berkan S as prescribed in our covenant for better manufacturer practices. Along with the Aladino factory, we have donated 3 of these tunnels to the local hospitals and have shared the design and procedures with our competitors. Another requirement for entering the building is that each person must also have their mask with them. This has been the easiest part because we have been very fortunate that our team members have been cooperative and have understood that it is for every person's benefit as well as for their families. Tomorrow we will show you more images from inside the factory, where you will get to see the rollers at work and the packing room before the cigar boxes are closed and sealed.
Yeah, so that's kind of the stuff that's going on at the factory to make sure, the people are safe and they can continue to work and make good products and stay healthy.
Guys, is it me? I'm getting like a huge scratchy sound, man. Is it just me?
It might just be you. I don't know. I'm trying to think of where it's coming from.
I'm hearing a scratch, but I'm not sure where it's coming from.
Sounds like a giant cricket movie.
Let's see. Yeah. A little noisy. Not sure what that is. I'll turn my volume down a bit.
That's a neat idea, bringing your guys in private transportation, because that's one thing that sticks in your head after going to Honduras, Nicaragua, where all those buses just packed full of people. Never even thought about that until we watched the video and could see that you guys provide that safe transportation. That had to help a lot. It sounds like we lost.
Listen, we had to do. I've always had this one issue with for many years, man, I suffered from OCD and this whole cleanliness thing. And Bayer noticed what we're doing. Bayer, we know them as the aspirin people, but they're really big into agriculture. And they helped us with our better growing practice and better manufacturing practice. They actually certified our farm as having zero impact on the environment. Now, they did not certify the factory because they're a human health company and they can't they can't endorse a tobacco product per se. Now, we do. They helped us with this new cleanliness thing. We've always had that one tunnel, but now we added a doctor. We added a lot of new measures to protect against COVID. Because 2 things: we're nothing if it's not for our staff. We got to make these people safe and make our team members all feel safe. I would not want to walk into place where I myself would not walk into and feel comfortable. We have our doctor and a nurse walking around all day long. First, you get into the building, you get your temperature measured. But then during the day, your temperature is measured all the time. And it doesn't stop there. We also help train these people at their homes, teach them how to be hygienic and be clean. The level of education on there sometimes doesn't match the local level of education we have here in the U.S. So we have to make sure. And then the other thing, bro, people put cigars in their mouth, man. Unless you are the cleanest, or this has to be just as clean as any food company out there, as a Snickers bar or anything else you're going to ingest. You do put in your mouth. We're exposed to a lot more. And fortunately, we've had 0 infections to this point from our factory. And, also the transit time of cigars, we explained in one of the videos, the transit time for cigars it'll be at least 9 or 10 days before anybody actually, since the last moment somebody touches a cigar, from the moment that it sits on your shelf over in North Carolina. So that risk is highly, highly diminished. But it's not just for COVID, it's anything else. We have to make sure that everything is always incredibly hygienic. We owe that to our customers. We owe it to our teammates in Honduras. So we take all these crazy precautions. We even develop these doors that you can open up with your elbows and put like these PVC handles. So you go with the inside elbow, you open the doors. It's crazy, man. People walk in there and think it's a maniac, like Howard Hughes living there or something. But we want to make sure that everybody's safe, man. Everybody's safe. Why not do it? I don't look at. Everybody needs to work, and our country's people need to work more than ever. So we always have to make sure that we're not forcing anybody to work in conditions that are less than perfect.
Right.
Makes a lot of sense. Yeah, we've done similar things here at the shop. Where we kind of we're still allowing customers to come into the store, but our staff actually goes in. Customer points to the cigar that they want, and we pick them up, put them, and grab them for them, so that we just don't have a lot of people in. And customers like to pick up cigars and look at them. And this just eliminates a lot of handling of our product. It's really kind of a challenge for us to operate that way. It takes a lot more staff, but I think it's better for everybody all the way around.
Well, in a very selfish way, and of course I'm not in retail. I could never do what you guys do. But in a very selfish way, I am very happy that businesses and you guys are forced to hand sell cigars again, one by one, just like we did back in the 90s. I love the fact that this is happening again because it brings this tremendous amount of attention to the cigars. And you walk with somebody and you're explaining to him or her exactly what that cigar is. Plus, it also gives your customer a certain level of comfort to be able to ask you questions where normally he or she would be too embarrassed to ask. Now that you're walking with them, you will get a lot more questions. And at the end of the day, you guys are the experts. You guys are dealing with cigars every day. And you can't expect somebody to read one article online and decide that he or she knows what they want. So
Right.
You guys are able to provide that for them. And I think you guys will agree that 80% of the time they take your recommendation for the product.
Right.
I'm not saying they come back 80% of the time. They might like your recommendation. They may not like your recommendation.
Yeah.
Hopefully they like it. I can guarantee if it's an 8 you recommend, they're coming back every time.
Well, and it is because that's one thing we preach to our staff here is to be in the humidor. We're telling the customers, prior to all this. But it's interesting when you got a customer in there one-on-one, you have an opportunity to explain things to them, and you find them asking a lot more questions. They want to know more about this cigar. So it's really been a great opportunity, like you said, for us to just work with every customer on an individual basis. I know people like to just go in there and wander around sometimes. Sometimes they feel a little frustrated, but the opportunity to wait on one-on-one is really, really good.
Yeah, we like to make sure we at least talk to the customers and ask them, open-ended questions, find out what they liked, what they didn't like, and kind of help them, which is a newer cigar smoker, steer towards the cigar that's right for their palate.
And it's something. I mean, there are little things in cigars also which I like explaining, and I really hate the fact that we couldn't do it together in person. For example, the 8 line. If you open up a box, your stuff that you just take the seal off, you smell that box and it smells fantastic. Because one thing that we'll do is we'll cut the wood the same day we make the box, and the way and we made the box flat on purpose. I know you guys at the retail level hate it because it takes up so much space. But the reason we made the boxes that way is so guys can be able to store their cigars inside their humidor, inside the box, because the cedar is a large element of it. We even use the tissue wrap itself. I hate cellophane. I think cellophane damages cigars and doesn't let them fully marry each other inside the box. But the tissue wrapper allows the foot to be protected, allows the cigar to breathe, and it also lets us put those ugly looking barcodes on them. And but it's all part of the presentation. I would love. There's nothing more exciting to me than to think about somebody opening up a box of cigars after they've been perfectly packed, and just get the smell, get the view, get everything that the cigar is supposed to deliver from the get-go. It's not just the cigar and the sitting down; it's everything that comes along with it. I think that's part of the experience. That's what we owe to our customers.
Yeah, we're spoiled here because we open boxes of cigars all day long, and nothing better or prettier than a real or 25 cigars. When you open it up and you smell it, it's amazing. It's impressive. And I'm a fan of uncellophane cigars from an aspect of just how pretty they look. I do love those ugly barcodes though, because it sure makes our life a whole lot easier tracking inventory and stuff like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, man. I hate cello cigars for a while. I don't think I have any left. I think some of the Asylum line.
Yeah.
But I don't think anything around there is cello anymore, right, Dave?
I don't believe so. If we have, I don't think so. If we send anything in bundles, that would be the only thing that we have that's cello.
I think Skits and Asylum are the only ones that are cello.
Okay.
I think it's the Skits and Asylum.
So, Tom, do any of our customers have any questions out there?
Christian, what are you smoking?
It's an Eiroa CBT, the little 48x4. And this one we decided to make box pressed. I don't know why, man. I want to make that small size box press. I think it's because the box looked so cool when we made the box because it was so small. And that's what we did. So I even went as far as making the 40x4. I think it's round in this one, but we have the small box. And the Eiroa First 20, I know someone just mentioned the Eiroa. Tim Davis. I think Tim. Yeah, Eiroa First 20. That's a great cigar, man. That was some tobacco my father grew from his father's farm. It's called La Victoria. There wasn't anything particularly special about the tobacco from Cuba, except for the fact that it hasn't been growing in like 50-something years. My father tried it, but to him it was too strong. My father likes the cigars a little milder, so he pretty much gave me almost a full blend. I changed one or two things in it. I added some tobacco de Cico Pinareño in the filler, and that's pretty much it. It completely tasted the flavor of the cigar. It was great little cigar. And to accompany the Eiroa First 20, we did the Eiroa First 20 Colorado, which is a third priming Connecticut wrapper. That's what Dave's smoking. I think those are Dave's favorite. And those two are box pressed. And I did it so because I wanted the wrappers to show up and look so real pretty. It's also medium to full body cigar. Great cigar, man. That really is. Those are probably two of the top lines. And if you really like full body cigars, is the Eiroa Dark. That one's hard to find. We can only make about $25,000 a year. That's one that you would call in your reserve, and once they come in, you call your customers and let them know they're here. But we don't keep them all the time. So, and now after lunch, I love smoking a little CBT. This is the Capa Banda Tripa. It's the wrapper binder filler. They're all Maduro. So it's a little 48x4. It's a 25-30-minute cigar. Depends on your mood, and just gives you a lot of body. Gives you a lot of body.
Well, looks like we lost Christian there. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, he's back. We lost him for a second. Maybe the network's getting busy down there. Where's the office at, David? Where's he calling us from?
I don't know. What's the town the office in? Yeah, you're back. What's the town the office is in? Maybe he's back.
Can't hear you, man.
What town is the office in?
Uh-oh. Hang on. I'll pull him out and bring him back in. Maybe that'll help him.
While he's bringing him back in, I'm just gonna. This is the cigar Christian talked about for folks to come pick them up. Notice on the bottom it says not for sale. That's because it's a really good deal, and it's supposed to be kind of a ticketed event. but because we've had these cigars aging a little bit longer in our humidor, we're going to go ahead and let them go. So, if you have an opportunity to try the cigar, smoke the cigar, and like Christian said, smoke them all together. See what that experience is like if you've never done it, and report back to us and see how it worked out. And we can share it with Christian, and possibly in the near future we can have Christian back in the shop and do the event live, which I think would be a lot of fun.
It will be pretty good. Can you hear us yet, Christian? I don't think he can hear us yet.
Listen, man. Thank you, Wayne. Thank you a lot for the opportunity, man. I mean, I don't know if you guys are getting, but the static is getting real bad on my side over here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where are you at right now? Are you in the U.S. or?
Yeah, he's at our office.
Okay. Yeah, that static's all coming from that end. It kind of goes away, but
Maybe it's the SpaceX launch that's still screwing it up.
it could be sunspots. Something. We may have lost him there. But
Either there, he's good at posing.
Yes.
Yeah.
There he is.
So, yeah, there's something going on down at that end. The networks are probably all busy using up the bandwidth. David, did you have any good trivia questions you'd like to ask our audience? Maybe?
Trivia questions?
Yeah,
What's the seed that we grow that nobody else grows?
that's a great one. I know we talked about that. So there's a question, folks. What seed do they use that nobody else grows? And bonus points if you can tell us why nobody else tends to use it, because it's so there's some unique characteristics to it. So
You almost let it slip there, Tom.
no, I didn't say what it was. I just said there's unique characteristics. So
Yeah, there you go.
to get into those, that's the important part.
That's right.
Listen, you guys sound all scratchy now, man. Sorry, guys. I can't hear anything.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, man. There's some network things going on down there, so it's hard to hear. It just sounds like paper being crumbled up. But yesterday we did a test. It was pretty good. We had a good test yesterday with him. So, but we got a question out there. So if you guys want to do your research and find out, let us know in the comments. Come back, comment again later in the video, and we'll figure out something special for you next week.
Good. David, thanks for coming out and doing this with us. And thanks, Christian, in case he doesn't hear us, for coming out.
Well, thank you for having us. We definitely appreciate it. And I look forward to seeing you all, Thursday?
Thursday, yeah. One last shout out for our multi-vendor event. Get to see David in person this week at the show. So the lounge will be open with all our different vendors after 3 o'clock. The folks that are in the shooting event will be have an opportunity to, after lunch, come in and go through all the different vendors, different promotions, and then we open it up to our general customers. So it's going to be a busy day for us. We're looking forward to it.
Yep.
It should be fun, and I think everyone should be thankful that I'm not shooting.
All right.
Well, again, thank you, David. Thank you, Christian, for joining us. We appreciate it. And we will see you all again soon. It's all right. We know the internet's broken now, so but thank you again, guys. And we will see everyone again soon.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Okay, guys.